Sasquatch Omega. This is the first time I'm ever putting my face on video, and the reason I'm doing it is because I wanted to tell you guys a story. I wanted to talk about a couple things. I haven't put up a video in a couple months, and there's been a reason for that. The last video that I posted was an announcement that I was going on an expedition with Todd Standing. It was going to be up in British Columbia, and his location. Essentially, when I first talked with him, and he decided he wanted me to go, I was really excited. Really excited. I can't even describe to you how excited I was. But it wasn't really that simple. I would have had taken 2 weeks off of work to do it, not to mention the travel expenses and then the provisions to actually do an expedition out in the middle of, what does he say, in hardcore backcountry areas. So it was going to be, a thing to go. So I decided that, with the amount of followers I had, subscribers, that maybe I should try to crowdfund it and just see what happens. I didn't think for 1 second that I would get the donations that I did. It was fantastic. And by the way, to everybody that did that, thank you. Seriously, from the bottom of my heart, it meant a lot, every single dollar. But my thought was I would get, a little bit of help with it. And then, I was going to come back and share it, really. Because I know everybody loves this stuff as much as I do. Otherwise, you wouldn't be watching these videos. So, anyway, that was 2 months ago that I posted that video, a little over 2 months ago. Coincidentally, several days after, I had all of my Sasquatch Omega accounts, online storage accounts. It had a lot of video on it, lots of video got into. Lots of stuff was stolen, stuff that I really can't even hope to come close to replacing. Some of the footage in there was better than the Patterson-Gimlin film. I'm just kidding. It was some good stuff, though, and definitely not easily replaced. But what affected me more than losing that stuff that I worked really hard to get and, risked my ass for, was the feeling of being like invaded, having your privacy invaded like that. And it was a real kind of nerve-wracking thing. But it made me kind of stop for a second and think about the timing of it, what was taken, how it was so easily very specific things were very easily gotten into. And I'm very careful with my stuff. Nobody had my passwords, like nobody. So, it's definitely a scary thing. So, anyway, it made me think about, besides being in the forest, this is for researchers and investigators, people that go out into the forest and try to film these things in repeatedly dangerous situations. Are we being monitored? Are we being watched by, I don't know if you guys believe in this or not. I'm not sure what I do and don't believe, but if there is a suppression of evidence during this unfolding discovery of the Sasquatch species, I think, as Dr. Bindernagel says, if there is a suppression of the information, if it's specifically led by certain groups, certain possibly government entities, private entities, who knows? But if that does exist, if that is happening, then wouldn't it make sense that those same people would be aware that there's, a group, a bunch of, guys and girls that have figured out how to go find Sasquatch, and we go out in the woods and we record stuff and we post it on here? If there was some kind of a reason for it to be suppressed, the information to be suppressed, and for the species to be you know, kept under wraps, I would imagine they would be very interested in, holy crap, where are all these people coming from that are, you know, kind of giving our stuff away, showing all these things. I mean, people are becoming more and more aware, you know, by the day, and it's only a matter of time. And it could literally be any day that somebody grabs the next, you know, PG film, or even better. It's going to be even better, right? It's going to happen at any moment. There's a lot of good stuff out there, but something that really rivals that, and that's what we're all hoping for. Everybody that goes out there wants to be a part of this unfolding discovery. They want to do their part, and just like me, I'm just completely fascinated by it. And once you get bit by that Sasquatch bug, you're done. You're freaking done. I've literally lost friends over it because they can't understand why I've turned into this, you know, really, you're talking about Sasquatch? Like, give me a break. I'm like, listen, you guys have known me a long time. There's a couple people in particular. I'm like, you've known me a long time. You're not even going to listen to what I'm going to say? Really? So it's very frustrating, and that only makes me more committed. That literally makes me more committed to doing it. I'm not going to stop. And I know there's plenty of other investigators or researchers that feel the exact same way. But anyway, there's you know, so having this happen to me, and thinking about why and everything else like that, I just wanted to throw that out there to other researchers and investigators, and I was kind of looking for, you know, and my subscribers, what are your thoughts on it? You know, to the researchers and investigators, and I'll reach out to some of you guys individually as well, but what do you think about that? Has anything like that happened to you guys? I know a couple of people that the answer is yes. But yeah, that. And then I decided that once that happened, I'm not concerned about showing my face on video, and there's a bigger drive for me to want to be on this video and be able to talk to you guys directly and ask questions and contribute. Once you've been exposed to this stuff and you've seen these things, you've had interactions and encounters, and you know, just repeating this and that and this and that, you got to have an outlet to talk about it. You absolutely have to have an outlet, and in the regular world, there isn't one. There is absolutely not one, and even if somebody acts like there is not. Trust me. So yeah, there's not an outlet, and being able to have one is important, and that's another reason I've decided to make videos like this occasionally. It just depends on what's going on, what I want to talk about. If I want to include, you know, me explaining something in a video, maybe I'll do that too. But it's just important to be able to get this stuff out, because there's crazy stuff out there, and anybody that's seen some of these videos or been out in the forest, you know, seen all this stuff yourself, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And nobody wants to be on Bigfoot Island alone. Trust me, you do not want to be on Bigfoot Island alone. So, the very last thing that I wanted to mention was, I don't know if anybody's ever heard of Dr. Stephen Greer. He is just a really smart guy. He was a trauma surgeon, and somehow got involved in UFOs and I'm not going to even start to explain it. It's very in-depth, but his information is available everywhere. But one of the things he did, which I really admired, is he got together a very large group of very reputable people in our society, high-ranking military officials, colonels, FAA officials, for the first time, people that it'd be hard just generally for the public just to dismiss, right? People in positions of authority and know. He put together this group of several hundred people, ex-military, just enlisted people, had them sign sworn affidavits that what they were about to talk about was true, and he recorded hours and hours and hours of video testimony that contain information and stories for over the course of 40 years, 50 years related to UFOs. And it basically, if you sit and you watch even a fraction of this, you'd be hard pressed to say that they're not real. And the stuff's incredible. But it really did push. He did it. What was it, through a National Press Club back in 2000, 2001. Anybody familiar with the subject, they can attest to the impact that had. And with all the people out, researching Sasquatch, investigating Sasquatch, I just thought that it's time for us to make some sort of progression, on this subject. I don't know about any of you guys, but I still remember the look on my mom's face when I told her that Sasquatch are real and that I'd seen them. She still doesn't know what to think of it, and it's I don't like that feeling. You know what I mean? People you've known your whole life that are just thinking you in, bonkers off the reservation, and for the people that are involved in it, like me and you, and people that have seen it, it's like, are you kidding me? Look at all this evidence. But I think that it would really help to give this subject a credibility push. And what I would like to do is the same thing that Dr. Stephen Greer did. Put together witnesses, investigators, researchers to the same level, sworn affidavits of testimony that they're going to provide is accurate and true, and each one of those people, tell their story, tell what they experienced. And I would imagine we would be able to get several hundred people, and I want to have this collection together and release it publicly as a group thing. Nobody individual, as a group thing, and they will see in there that there's Nathan, Utah Sasquatch. I just have what he had said a couple times in my mind about, I've gone out with judges, I've gone out with police officers, blah blah blah, and other reputable people, and they're out there, right? It's not just it's not people that just live in rural areas. I'm a professional. I'm a very very freaking normal guy, and I've met dozens and dozens of you guys that are very very normal as well.